Hi everybody, we just finished shooting a video about the Ascot Chang tailored mask, and since we're at the factory, I thought it might be fun to go back to the 3PB and kind of dig into the history of it and show you guys the evolution of that model. So again, I'm here with Justin Chang, as part of the Ascot Chang family, and he and I and the whole buying team at the Armoury spent a long time, maybe too much time, working on this product. So I'll start with this. This was the original prototype. And this was actually, like the direction of the product was a little different from what it ended up being. The direction of the product was meant to be more like a blouson, a little bit sleek, a little bit more dressy. You know, the final product was much more casual, but the original was meant to be much more dressy. And we tried to suggest that through a bunch of little details, right? So for instance, compared to the final one, we used quite small buttons. We actually had side seams. Side seam pockets like that.
Side seam pockets,
which I thought were kind of cool.
So it was very clean in the front.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
And then after we did that, we were like, oh man, it just looks like a short little shirt. And so we started chalking in some slanted pockets. And that brings us to this. And I was really impressed, Justin, that you managed to do this. Because it was, like technically it's not easy to have these little welt pockets like that on a shirt. You know?
And to be honest, it was a good exercise for our tailors as well, because this isn't really something that we're used to. But we were like, can you try this? Can you try this? And this is what came out. And I think, you know, even though it didn't make it to the final iteration, I think this was it was a good exercise for us.
Yeah. It was super interesting. You know, I remember when we had this pocket, like when you put it on, it would be quite plain, and it always needed something. So I would always wear this prototype with a little pen in the pocket just to like break it up a little bit. And I think that is when we really start to realize that, like, if you make this thing too simple looking, it's just too similar to a shirt. Like, and hence it wasn't really possible to keep it going on that dressy track. And we had to change a lot of the details to be a little bit sportier. Like you were mentioning, the stitching changed on one revision too, right? So was it this one?
With these two, actually, the stitching is fairly fine compared to the final version. And I think from 1 to 2, we already tried to go a little thicker on the stitching. But as you'll see with version 3 over here, this is where the much more, we had to source a thicker yarn than we're used to get this really kind of thick stitching here. And it gives it more of a workwear type of feel. Yeah.
In fact, I think that stitching was Jan's,
it was.
our colleague Jan's idea.
Yeah, and I think it was a really good idea.
In fact, everything got kind of supersized on this, right? Like,
so you have the welts getting wider here. You have, I think, this getting a bit wider. We have the buttons going up two sizes or so. And so this is where kind of the workwear feel of it started taking shape.
Oh, and we also enlarged, we added this, remember?
Yes, yeah.
We added this, and I remember we wanted this to be curved bottom at first, but after we added this, we decided to be much more straight bottom.
Yes.
Man, I kind of like this one too, though. Even though, like, if you weren't going to have the
breast pocket, then this is a good iteration.
Is this the one with the hips? Oh, no.
No.
Actually, wait. Sam, just point the camera at this real fast. We actually experimented with these too, with this little fastener at the hip, just to take it in a little bit. But because of the length of the jacket, it really wasn't very effective, and it just looked weird. So after that, the final prototype was actually this one I'm wearing. We stripped off all the pockets, and we were playing with a bunch of just patches for the pockets. I wish we still had those patches. They're probably in some drawer somewhere. But so we ended up with these like straight edge, but then quarter circle on this side pockets, with a breast pocket that's also has a patch. And it's kind of been a hit ever since. I mean, this is like a funky special one that I did for myself out of old kimono fabric, because we can make these basically in any fabric, right? Like you even developed a lined version.
We have a lined version. I think we did it out of Escorial wool.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, it feels like butter when you slip it on.
Yeah. That was actually the Escorial that Simon Crompton did as a collaboration with the company. And I was worried it would be a little too sticky. So we lined it as an experiment, and that one turned out really well. I look forward to releasing those in the winter, actually. That should be good.
So there's a lot of options for these. And
Yeah, man. Well, listen, thanks so much for your help in the development of it.
Oh, no,
it is
thank you.
definitely one of my favorite products at the Armoury.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a long process, but it was fun.
Yeah, because this is not the first product we've developed together either.
No,
right? I mean,
no, no,
we've
no.
done the polo shirts
Yeah.
in like multiple colors.
Yes.
Jim has done a bunch of different casual wear shirts with you.
Yeah,
The overshirt, that 2-pocket one as well.
Yeah.
And we've got the holiday shirt
Yeah.
coming up a little bit later in this
Day
week.
wear
or
shirt
this week.
coming.
That's true, the day wear shirts
And
as
of course
well.
the safari, which is
And the safari,
which is,
the OG, the
yeah.
safari. All right, man. Well, thanks for this trip down memory lane.
Yeah.
And
No,
thanks
thank
for
you.
watching.
Yep.